Captain Forest here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over both these combatants to see who would win, more often not in an inverse situation. Dr. Multiverse versus Naomi from DC, of course. Now if you guys are new to my channel, please leave a like, comment down below and subscribe for further content. Also shouts to the Coffee Shop gang, they all make awesome content, their links shall be in the description. Also shouts to the HQ squad, mass shouts to the team. Also special thanks to Honcho, he did help me a bit in this video too, so much appreciate to him. Based off both these combatants, I know probably some people may not know who they are, or they've briefly seen them from reading some of the Justice League Incarnate, you know, Multiversity and Naomi's run. These characters are kind of new, pretty recent characters, and despite the fact that they are new to the DC comics, they actually have some really good feats, and I'm going to document them in this video. And I thought this was a cool inverse. They're pretty underrated and they've got some really good creation level feats. So I'm going to go over Dr. Multiverse's abilities and feats first. In Dr. Multiverse's very own profile, she's listed as having multivision, flight, enhanced durability, cosmic tracking, teleportation, and energy manipulation. Dr. Multiverse has shown to teleport to different dimensions, such as the time where she teleports to Earth 8 and notes that she saw machine heads parts vibrating between Earth 8 and tried syncing up the vibrations to recover the parts. She also notes that she's been cursed with the powers of the multiverse. She's also shown to teleport the Justice League to the ruins of Multiverse 2, a separate creation. When viewing Darkseid with her multivision, she notes that there's only one version of Darkseid in the multiverse, and after observing Darkseid for a short period of time, she realized that Darkseid is just far above her pay grade. She also notes that it's like all evil in the multiverse in one just by looking at him, which is actually a good statement for Darkseid, I must say. Dr. Multiverse looks at President Superman and his team with her multivision and saw alternate versions of Superman. She states that because of her multivision, she can use her and the Flash's vibrations to separate the Justice League Incarnate from the Great Darkness. She then performs this feat, and then she was able to break the Great Darkness's influence from the Justice League, which is pretty impressive. That's actually a really good feat for Dr. Multiverse and that alternate version of Flash as well. We also see her team up with the alternate version of this Flash. She tells this version of Flash that she can make a field of quantum probability, along with syncing up the Flash's vibration to BFR, the crack of the multiverse. Dr. Multiverse was able to hold open the portal that Darkseid opened up, which is pretty impressive. Dr. Multiverse contains the crack of the multiverse within her body and states that the multiverse gave her powers to heal it, though she wasn't powerful enough to do so, so she could only contain the crack of the multiverse for a limited amount of time, which is still an impressive feat. Very impressive. The crack of the multiverse is a pretty powerful aspect in creation. Upon getting the crack, she states that it gave her all the questions and all the answers at the same time, concluding that Darkseid must win. Lastly, a very impressive feat for Dr. Multiverse was when she harmed Empty Hand with her energy blast, when the dark chains became weaker after Green Arrow destroyed the machine that was amping Pariah's Dark Army. This feat is still impressive because we can still quantify this level of power. As mentioned before, it was only the Dark Amp that was coming from their chains that was weakening. Their own physical powers, their own physical AP still remained. They just no longer had the amplification from the dark chains, and that is an absolutely insane feat. Really impressive feat for Dr. Multiverse. So that's going to round up Dr. Multiverse. I'm going to go ahead and move on to my girl, Naomi, talk about some of the things that she's shown through the comics. So starting off with some of Naomi's showings, what comes to mind was the time she was able to stalemate and defeat Sumbando, who was dog walking the entire Justice League, no difficulty. She won with extreme difficulty. The Niv Metal was reacting to the strength of Sumbando, which is absolutely insane. That's easily a creation level feat right off the bat. The Niv Metal has shown to be relative in comparison to the Justice League, and compared to Dr. Manhattan, she was ready to square up against Aquaman for training with so much confidence of winning. She was able to casually defeat Cyborg Superman. This very same Cyborg Superman has given Superman quite a hard time on many occasions and is stated to be just as fast and strong as Superman. She was also able to hold her own against Solomon Grundy, and the funny thing is that one of her most impressive feats is being told she has such a unique energy source and the amount of power that Superman has ever seen, and he is shocked at her level of power. This would naturally mean that she has power at least relative to the tiers of the source wall, and the next thing I will say will support this extent of power. Before I say what I really want to say, it's important to note that she most likely comes from the world that lies on top of the map, and Superman says that because he is still baffled at how powerful Naomi is and the kind of energy she's emitting, that he jumped from whatever was from the bleed to the tier of the God sphere. He was certain her power can't be bound by dimensions. Okay, so that's going to round up Naomi. I'm going to go ahead and move on, see who wins more often not in an inverse situation. Now, so in terms of like stats and AP and speed and other abilities, I'll break this down in this fight. Now, Dr. Multiverse and Naomi have some pretty interesting scaling. Now, if we look at Naomi's feats, especially when she fought Cyborg Superman, and she was also able to basically beat up a character who's literally able to lay waste to the Justice League. She has some really good high Ultiversal plus, if not boundless scaling. Now, when we look at characters like Empty Hand was literally taking damage from Dr. Multiverse, and this same Empty Hand literally was clapping Darkseid not too long ago. So that's some really good boundless scaling for Dr. Multiverse. I think it's pretty close, but I have to lean a little bit more so with Dr. Multiverse. Just the scaling for Empty Hand and Darkseid, it's very plentiful. It scales a little bit higher into the cosmology from what I've seen, and I think she takes AP a little bit more so compared to Naomi. It's very close, but if you go off statements only and you take the statement from Superman, from what Superman said to Naomi, then you could argue Naomi literally being above Dr. Multiverse. Now in terms of speed, I think speed is completely irrelevant. They really have some good speed scaling. I don't think anyone's gonna get speed blitz. They can react to other characters who have really good immeasurable to irrelevant speed, so I really don't see the need to go with a speed per se. Now, in terms of abilities, of course, Naomi, she can shoot energy blasts, she can amplify magic, and she has some other like tools and assets and physical prowess in combat. But with Dr. Multiverse, she has her multi-vision, she has her energy projectiles, she can teleport, she can travel to different dimensions, etc, etc. Now, more often than not in combat, because of the AP difference, if they get into a beam struggle or fisticuffs, I think Dr. Multiverse will edge out via the AP, especially the AP that I've awarded to Dr. Multiverse and her showings. I'm just more convinced based off her feats and statements. So more often than not, I have to give victory to Dr. Multiverse. I think she scales a little higher into the tier. It's very close. You could argue both ways, but more often than not, I have to lean more so with Dr. Multiverse, high difficulty. But thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below, and of course, subscribe. BS, it's been real. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.